Well, good Sunday morning. I'm meteorologist Matt Barrentine, getting everything's cooking here in the Fox 10 News Now Weather Center. Hope you're having yourself a good start here to your morning. Obviously, hopefully the rain helped you sleep last night. Lots of rain here across the entire area through the evening hours. We still have some very, very light drizzles going on this morning, but they're really, really light. So they're not going to be a big deal, but you know, hey, they're out there. I mean, let's go and I'll go ahead and kind of zoom around a little bit. All right, so here's southern Mobile County around Grand Bay. Got a little shower here, right here on Irvington by La Battery Highway. Another little shower here. Far out in Dawes Road, we got a little bit of a light shower there. These are all kind of pushing off to the east here this morning. And around Mobile proper, not a whole lot here. Some light drizzles. Looks like going across the Delta now. Another one up here on 225 in Baldwin County. So like I said, they're out there. They're very tiny, very light showers. Panhandle has some of the more moderate showers going on right now. Pensacola crossing over to Garson Point, and we got some other showers here just sort of scattered about. So there's going to be some very light rain here through the rest of the morning. But once again, this will all be really light. The kind of stuff that you're really not even going to need an umbrella for or a raincoat. You'll just feel a couple of drops here and there, and that's about it. It's not going to turn into a big downpour, so you don't have to worry about that. If you're going to go out and walk the dog, got some, you maybe just go up do some grocery shopping or something like that. Feel a couple of drops as you're walking through the parking lot. Don't worry about it. It's not about to pour on you. It's just a couple little drips and drops, and that's all we're going to see here through the rest of the morning. Let's see here on the Futurecast. It doesn't show a whole lot. That's 10 a.m. going into just past lunchtime. This is the afternoon. Mainly just gray skies. I'm trying to be optimistic. We might see a few breaks in those clouds. I think the clouds might thin a little bit towards the end of the afternoon, but probably not fully break up to where we see any sunshine. So that's what we're looking at here for this morning. Let's go ahead and pull that up. Clouds, clouds, more clouds. Temperatures, though, getting up to around 60 by lunchtime. We'll top out in the lower 60s this afternoon. I'm trying to be optimistic. Went ahead and put a sunshine there, but like I said, probably not very many of us going to see that this afternoon. Just trying to be optimistic with that. All right, so this is a part that you're probably going to want to pay attention to moving ahead. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all are fine days. 40s in the morning, 60s in the afternoon. Very seasonable for this time of year. Not much in the way of rain chances any of those days, likely staying dry. Then we get to Thursday. This is Thursday. This is Christmas Eve. So this is what you're going to want to pay attention to. So thinking about your Christmas plans here. We're going to have a system moving on in on Christmas Eve, and it's going to be it's going to be a decent system. It's going to have a good rain with it. It's going to have thunderstorms with it. Now, will those thunderstorms get severe? Storm Prediction Center is saying right now that the instability looks fairly low as this system's coming through. But looking at what they're looking at, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't put out a very broad marginal risk zone, that lowest level of risk, kind of in a broad way across pretty much the entire deep south that day. So in other words, isolated chance possibly of some severe weather. That's probably what we'll come up with here for your Thursday. Nothing widespread, but just something we'll have to keep an eye on just in case a couple storms decide to get rowdy. Of course, as we get closer to Thursday, we'll be getting more info, have a better idea, because the Storm Prediction Center doesn't really put out the zones until day 3. So that would be, if it's Thursday, that'd be day 3, Wednesday, Tuesday. So it'd be Tuesday morning until we know likely whether or not they're going to put out a risk zone. So got a few days yet to kind of watch this and see what's going to happen. But the main thing is just to be prepared to deal with rain that day, some heavy rain at times. That's noontime. By 5 o'clock, looks like most of this will be east of us. And this is the European model. I'm telling you, the GFS model moves it out even earlier, so fingers crossed that this gets out, in the afternoon. And then after that, check this out. This is kind of neat. This is midnight Friday when the big man's flying around. And there's blue there on the Futurecast, well north of us. So I know what's going to happen. I've already seen it happen, actually. Folks posting on social media. White Christmas in the deep south. I guess if you consider Tennessee the deep south, they might be right, okay? I don't consider Tennessee the deep south. We live in the deep south. They're just the south. But Tennessee, maybe up around Nashville, up around Chattanooga, It's possible maybe in Huntsville or Mentone up there in northwestern or northeastern corner of Alabama, especially in the elevations there in the northeastern part of the state. Yeah, we could definitely see some snow up there, dusting of snow up there, maybe even a little bit of more than an inch or so of snow in some spots in the upper elevations. So that's a possibility for the northern tip of the state. None of the models are bringing this stuff any farther south than maybe Birmingham. All right, sorry, I messed up my microphone when I moved. All right, so what we're talking about was the possibilities of a white Christmas. That's not going to be us. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't mean to be the bah humbug on that. But folks in Tennessee, Gatlinburg, Chattanooga, maybe in the north side of Atlanta, parts of Huntsville, like I said, Mentone, Alabama, up there in the northeastern corner of the state, very well could have a dusting of snow, or maybe even a little bit more than a dusting of snow, depending on their elevation, on the ground for Christmas morning. So that's going to be pretty neat. It's not deep south. All right, I know we'll see that on social media. People saying there's a white Christmas in the deep south. In the south, not the deep south. All right. All right, so next several days for us. So we got these light morning drizzles still possible. And like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all going to be good days. Monday is sunny, clear, temperatures in the 60s in the afternoon, 40s in the morning. It actually gets a little mild by Wednesday, getting into the upper 60s. Putting a slight rain chance on Wednesday, but likely it stays dry. So that's the next 4 days. Then once again, we're talking about Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. This is where we are seeing the rain chances here. 40s here, 50s on Christmas Eve, but the rain is going to be around. Then look at Christmas Day, waking you up to temperatures in the 20s. Hit the hot cocoa ready. It is going to be chilly on Christmas morning. Hey, it's going to feel like a good Christmas day. It's not going to be hot this year. It's going to be, like I said, upper 20s in the morning, low 50s in the afternoon. It's going to feel like a nice Christmas day. Lots of sunshine. For everybody that's joined here on our Facebook Live, I do appreciate it. Yeah, so DZ's asking about sleet. Not this far south, unlikely, okay? So we're not going to be seeing any frozen precipitation. I want you to look at the temperatures there on Christmas Eve for us. It's going to be in the upper 40s and 50s throughout the day. So that's why there's just no chance for us to get any sort of mixed precipitation. And by the time you can see Christmas morning, it cools off. But by that time, the air is completely dried out down here. So there's just no chance of us seeing the frozen precipitation. That's going to happen well north of us, probably north of Birmingham in the state before we find anything like that. And even then, it'll probably be more into the areas with some elevation. So not to be a bummer, but, you know, hey, that's what we're looking at. All right, so once again, today is going to be a gray day. The rain, yeah, a couple of drips and drizzles. Troy's asking about getting his motorcycle out. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a problem. A little damp this morning on the road, so be careful. May want to let things dry out a bit this afternoon. But otherwise, looking pretty good out there for us. And looking at a gray day for us. Once again, the big thing we'll be watching out for is down the road. This is Christmas Eve. We'll be watching out for heavy rain, likely some thunderstorms as well. Too early to say yet if we'll get anything severe here, but we'll be keeping an eye on that. That passes through during the day on your Christmas Eve. And the good news, though, is by Christmas Eve evening, it's all gone. It's out of our hair. And once again, I'll be watching out for a white Christmas for folks up in Tennessee, and maybe the upper elevations of the northern part of Alabama and Georgia could see some as well. And every time we run these models, and here's another thing, I'm watching this the last several days, every time I've been running these models, the models they've been kind of slicing this back. You know, in other words, it had it farther south in previous runs, but it's like each run that comes out, it's starting to get a better handle on what's going to happen. And usually a lot of times the models are a little overzealous with southern snow. But it does look like folks up and around Tennessee are going to get some snow there on Christmas morning. Have a nice wake up to that. It'll be nice for them up there. But once again, by the time we cool off on on Christmas morning, the moisture's well to our east. What they get up here is sort of a wraparound moisture, and that'll help them get at least a little bit of snow. Just not going to make it down here. So anyway, talk through that too much. Hope you have yourselves a good one. Let me, as I go out here, I'll put the extended forecast up and leave this up for a minute or so. Have yourselves a wonderful day, a wonderful Sunday, and hopefully a good week, and a Merry Christmas to all as you go through the next several days. Enjoy it, and do your best to stay dry on Christmas Eve and work your plans around that next system and get ready for that cold morning on Christmas Day. Bye now.